All right, welcome back to the channel. So Gervonta Davis will outshine Teofimo Lopez if he is able to beat Leo Santa Cruz, because Lomachenko was just a hype job flash in the pan. Y'all might not like it, but that's what the record says. Let's talk about that in this video. All right. So, what do you get when you beat a hype job? What do you get when you beat a hype job? Well, the answer to that depends on who you are. If you are Guillermo Rigondeaux and you beat Nonito Donaire, somebody that was supposed to be the next Manny Pacquiao and, the next big star HBO when Manny Pacquiao's gone, all that stuff. When you're Guillermo Rigondeaux and you're a slick, itty-bitty, slick, southpaw Cuban fighter, who doesn't speak English and nobody in the network wants you, when you beat Nonito Donaire, what happens when you beat the hype job? You get banished. You get sent away. You don't get but one fight a year, maybe one fight, sometimes 2 years, for years and years at a time, because nobody wants to come near you because they know that you can beat them. You lose your Abner Mares fight. You lose your Leo Santa Cruz fight. You lose your Carl Frampton fight. You lose all of Leo Santa Cruz, Abner Mares, Carl Frampton, Lee Selby. You lose all of those because you beat the hype job when your name is Rigondeaux. Because then people just act like, oh, Nonito Donaire was just a hype job, and they just push him away, and they never give Guillermo Rigondeaux credit, and they go to the next guy, and they make the next guy, who is that? Lomachenko, the big star, right? It's not Guillermo Rigondeaux, who's the two-time Olympic gold medalist who dethroned a top pound-for-pound fighter in order to get out there. No, it's Lomachenko, who didn't do any of that. The guy immediately got a shot at the title, right? An immediate stardom in pound for pound without ever beating somebody that was considered to be a top pound for pound fighter in his career. So what did Rigondeaux get for beating a hype job named Nonito Donaire? He got a whole lot of problems. What does Teofimo Lopez get for doing the same thing? He gets celebrated. Now, Nonito Donaire is a superstar. He's not a hype job. Well, then, if Nonito Donaire was a superstar, right? And this great fighter who, by the way, beating him now elevated Monster Inoue years later to the very top of the pound-for-pound list, right? That was the hardest fight of Nonito Donaire's career. And what happened when he fought And so what happened to him when he had the hardest fight of his career with Nonito Donaire? He celebrated. What happened to Guillermo Rigondeaux when Guillermo Rigondeaux had the best career of his career? He gets blackballed. Okay? That's what we're talking about. So Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko, Gervonta Davis and Teofimo Lopez, right? Both had very similar circumstances, but guess who has the better competition according to the record? Gervonta Tank Davis. Because Gervonta Tank Davis has there's so many of the same similarities between the relationship between the parties. Like, for example, Gervonta Davis is a 130-pound champion. That's his weight class. That's where he fought one of his fights. He came up for a secondary fight one time at 135. But other than that, he's been at 130 his entire career. Leo Santa Cruz has come up multiple weight classes to get to 130, right? Well, isn't that the same thing Vasily Lomachenko did? Absolutely. They're both multi-divisional champions. Leo Santa Cruz and Vasily Lomachenko. All hype about what you think about them to the side. Okay? They both have one loss. One of those guys' loss is against Orlando Salido that he never went back to fight. Leo Santa Cruz has one loss on his record. That is to Carl Frampton, which he went back and avenged. There is nobody that beat Leo Santa Cruz that Leo Santa Cruz did not go back and beat. And Carl Frampton is no journeyman. I don't think he's the best 126 pounder in the world, obvious, but he is not a journeyman. Like Orlando Salido, who just lost for the same championship that against Mikey Garcia like 2 fights before. But so when he's with Mikey Garcia, he loses and he can't win the belt. But when he gets to Vasily Lomachenko, he beats him. What does that say about Vasily Lomachenko? And now Vasily Lomachenko's lost to Teofimo Lopez, and guess what? That's on his record. He's 14-2. And he will be losing, and he lost to Teofimo Lopez, who, my friend, before that, he was a champion, sure. He was a champion for sure. Never had defended, but pretty much just got out of contender status. If Leo Santa Cruz loses to Gervonta Davis, he is not losing to somebody that is just out of contender status. He is somebody that has been champions in that same division for multiple years with multiple title defenses. Okay? Leo Santa Cruz, even though I don't like the ducking, and that's why I spent so much time in the beginning of this video about Guillermo Rigondeaux, because Leo Santa Cruz was allowed to duck Guillermo Rigondeaux. If Guillermo Rigondeaux had gotten the same amount of credit for what he did with Nonito Donaire as even Monster Inoue got years later for beating Nonito Donaire, he would have been big enough of a star, would have big enough of a name and enough support to get those fights. But because of the way that he was treated versus how Teofimo Lopez is treated, Teofimo Lopez now gets to skip ahead of line and not touch anybody, right? You don't have to fight Devin. Devin's not big enough to fight you, Teofimo. You only lightweights you should fight are Ryan Garcia, who doesn't have a belt and obviously and probably doesn't even have a shot to win the fight. Or you can fight a rematch with Lomachenko, who you already beat. And you're too big for. Because he should probably be at 130. And that is, to be big again. Now, here's the thing about that weight stuff, okay? About the weight stuff. Teofimo Lopez, it don't belong at that weight class. Teofimo Lopez is going to be 135, and he's going to be 140, 147. And it's not there for long, and everybody is saying that is the case. However, let's compare this. The point of the video was this. Max Kellerman had come out and was talking about this fight with Gervonta Davis as if this was some Passover fight that is just a waste of time. And, we're waiting to see who it is that you're going to fight next. This Leo Santa Cruz fight, let's just get by it because we know you're going to win it, whatever. See, that's what people do when they want to completely disrespect you, right? Completely disrespect you. Gervonta Davis is now had listen to what they did. Max Kellerman did, and people will do. Therefore, Gervonta Davis, they are going to discount a win in his own weight class for a belt that he just had. A guy that won for a fight with a guy that has one loss, moved up from 118 to 122 to 126, and now is fighting at 130. He's in his 4th weight division. You are not going to give and he didn't lose in any of those. He won the 126-pound title. Now, he's not doing what he should do, which is fight Gary Russell Jr., but he won it. The fight on paper between Gervonta Davis and Leo Santa Cruz is a better fight on paper than Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko. And that, my friend, is very, very reasonable. I won't say it's a fact because whoever's opinion, what you think is better is your own opinion. But dude, when I can walk down it like that, you're going to start talking about intangibles, okay? When you compare the opponents that Gervonta Davis and Teofimo Lopez have. If you say that Leo Santa Cruz, Vasily's way better than Lomachenko than Teofimo Lopez, nah, that's because you think that. It's not because you see it on a piece of paper anywhere, okay? Not the level of competition is not better, right? The only thing that is, and matter of fact, the level of competition is worse than Leo Santa Cruz Because Leo Santa Cruz had 2 fights with Abner Mares. He had 2 fights with Carl Frampton. Dude, those are better fights than Vasily Lomachenko has had. Vasily Lomachenko, every fight Vasily Lomachenko has had has been a mismatch on paper, with the exception of Gary Russell Jr. and with the exception of Teofimo Lopez. And that's just a fact. Give Gervonta Tank Davis the credit he's going to deserve for this win. Now, do I think Leo Santa Cruz got a shot to beat him? No. But do I believe that Teofimo Lopez was going to have a harder fight with Vasily than Tank could have with Leo? Yes. But that's only because of the level of fighter that Gervonta Davis is and the level of fighter that Teofimo Lopez is. It's not about the opponents. Okay? 2 champions can fight the same guy, and one guy has an easy time and the other guy has a hard time. And I'm going to tell you, I suspect that Gervonta Tank Davis will have an easier time beating Vasily Lomachenko than Teofimo Lopez did. Because you're not going to hit him like that. But that's my opinion. You let me know yours. And with that, I'm out. Peace.